Welcome back to part two. We're looking at the new eVerse 8 and we're comparing it to the crop of battery powered speakers that have been on the market. So this is going to be some observations I've concluded from my last video. And before we start, I want to thank the new subscribers, and you might want to go back and check some of my previous videos in comparison to this speaker. Starting off with a positive, the EV has a clip light at the bottom. You can set it either as a normal power indicator, or you can set it to clip. And it's really nice. From a distance, when it does clip, it flashes bright white, and you can really see it from a long distance. And with that great app, you can pull down that gain a little bit, and the clip light will go off. So I really like that feature. The JBL Compact does have a clip light, but not on the actual speaker. It's on the app, and it's very small, very tiny. It'll light up red, so I can't even compare it. And the Bose S1 Pro does not have a clip light at all. Next, the mix out on the Bluetooth. I had mentioned in the previous video, I wasn't sure if that was going to transmit signal on Bluetooth, and the positive answer is yes. Only the Mackie has that issue where it doesn't transmit Bluetooth, which is a real downside. Bose has no issue either. And again, I'm just mentioning what I mentioned the last time, and this is an XLR out you can aux out to a subwoofer or a auxiliary speaker. And inside the app, you have all kinds of settings where you can high pass the speaker, which is really good. Okay, one of the negatives, and as people know from my past videos, I don't work for any specific company. I don't work for EV, so I'm going to be straight and tell you the negatives and the positives. So here's a negative. When you switch off the speaker, you have just lost Bluetooth connection. And when you switch it on again, you have to go to settings, you have to repair it, select that speaker. Kind of a pain. I really don't like it. And in comparison, the JBL and the Bose, they are boot up constantly. You just turn it on the speaker and there they are. So that's a big plus for them and a minus for EV. Another thing that I'm not happy about is on the LCD screen itself, after like less than, 5 seconds or so, the screen dims. I would like that screen to stay on bright for a while so I can see what I'm doing, but it automatically dims unless you actually physically touch it control. So that's a negative in my book right there. Also, after a couple of seconds, if you go back to the gain knob and try to adjust it, it asks you to press the gain button to re-engage it. These are just really small little things, but things that I would like to see improved either through a firmware update or, just like I said, I don't have these issues with the other speakers. On the other hand, the Bose S1 Pro, you're not dealing with an LCD screen, so you have your physical controls right there. So it's much quicker and easier, and that's why some people prefer the S1 Pro. Another downside, at max volume testing, and I will be having a video showing that what I'm talking about, there is some hiss. That's a little disappointing. There is some hiss that I don't hear from the other speakers. So this is more of your traditional tweeter with woofer, and maybe because the other speakers are more of a column array where they have multiple smaller drivers inside. I'm just guessing. Maybe that's why this speaker has hiss at low volume where the others don't. I'm really not sure. When I made the first video, I praised the EV, saying it has 100 degrees dispersion, which is the amount it'll cover from left and right, covering an audience, which 100 degrees is excellent. In comparison, maybe your traditional point source speaker, like a 12-inch QSC, will only cover 90. So this is 100 degrees, which was really good. But I didn't realize that Bose S1 Pro does even better at 120 degrees. So that's another feather in the cap for the Bose S1 Pro. And of course, when you go up to the top Bose line, the Pro line, then you're getting 180 degrees. Really, one speaker covers a huge space. Just as a little proof to prove that I don't work for Bose, here is the Bose S1 Pro slip cover, which is kind of nice. It has a nice pocket on the back for your speaker cables. So let's see what we got under here. Oops. Anyway, there's our eVerse 8. So that cover fits perfectly. No need to get a separate slip cover if you're keeping your S1 Pro and the eVerse. So before we do our sound test, here's another point. Both speakers are in the tilt back position and the EQ changes accordingly. And that was something that Bose came up with originally, because Bose came out with the S1 Pro a number of years before the EV came out in 2018. So I don't know why Bose doesn't have that patented, but EV copied it. So they both work in the tilt back position. Okay, so we're getting to the sound test. I want to make a point I want to make, and that is when I played both speakers next to each other, and I'm not going to demonstrate this to you, I'm just going to tell you. When I played both speakers next to each other in the flat position, meaning Bose is already flat, because I'm using Bluetooth, so there's no EQ available on their Bluetooth channel. So I put the EV on flat, and they pretty much, and I'm talking about medium to low volume, they didn't sound very different, to tell you the truth. So for the people who don't want to tweak and play with EQ, just plug and play, I'm going to say the Bose sounds almost exactly like the EV. No reason to probably go with the larger size and a little bit more money. The Bose is just that much easier to work with someone who doesn't want the bells and whistles. And the rest I'll show you, and you make your own decision from the sound test. This is the sound test demo comparing the Bose S1 Pro with the new EV eVerse 8. I've spent some time on the same track. I've set the volume for each speaker at 85 dB max, which is a good testing volume, not too loud and not too low. You get to hear the dynamics. This track is a good track. Listen for the bass that comes in. There's some clear high end that you can compare the speakers. When I compare the speakers, I'll be pointing. So when I point to the Bose, the flashlight will go on the Bose. And when I switch to the EV, it'll light up. You'll know which speaker I'm on. So let's give it a try. This is the same track. And like I said, the volume is equal. Both speakers at 85 dB. So that's not a factor. That could be a fool you when you listen to demos, maybe from other YouTube people on YouTube, that one speaker is louder than the other, and your ear automatically, your brain fools you and thinking that's the better speaker just because it's louder. Okay, here we go. We're going to be starting with the Bose. quite a difference, as we can hear. I guess the flashlight was just too much. I don't know if you heard it thump. It fell to the ground in the middle of my demonstration here. But I don't think we needed it after a certain point. The EV really opens up. Now let me tell you some more details of the test, and that is the Bose. They're both playing on Bluetooth. So the Bose, you can't control EQ on the Bluetooth, so it's pretty much flat. The EV, I used the EQ to the best I could to bring out the bass and the treble. So that EQ, I don't know if you heard it or not, but I surely heard a big difference. And so that's the difference. You have that EQ to play with. You can dial it in. And for the guitarist and the vocalist, same story. I'm playing just backing tracks, DJ in a small situation. But for the musicians out there, I'm not going to be demoing instruments. I'm a drummer, and to tell you the truth, the EV didn't open up my eyes and surprised me with playing electronic drums through it. It still doesn't have enough power. I needed to go to my larger AC power speakers, like my QSC CP8, which isn't even quite enough. The only really the smallest speaker that I found that will work with my electronic drum pad that needs power without a mixer is my QSC K8.2, which is on completely different levels in both of these speakers. We're talking about a different story. Okay, getting back to this. Anyway, so that EQ on the EV really makes a difference. I'm sure it'll make a difference for vocalists. I'm just not going to be showing that in my videos because I'm not a vocalist. You have all those reverbs on the EV. The Bose has one simple reverb. So the EV is really endless tweaking ability that you can do. But, the Bose has been great up to this point. Volume-wise, that'll be a different video. I'm not going to talk about volume right now. So like I mentioned, the volume at this demo was equal, which is very important. Okay, we're going to try this one more time. See if I can hold on to this flashlight. So we're starting with the Bose. Wrapping this up, sound demo, Bose S1 Pro against the challenger, the EV eVerse 8. To my ears, and remember, everybody's ears are different. Some people like more high-end, some people like more bass, some people like the mid-range. Some other tracks that I listen to, the Bose mid-range, some tracks are smoother on the Bose. It's pretty close, to tell you the truth. But I don't know if you would call it more efficient, because the volume doesn't change. Like I mentioned, the volume stays at 85 dB, but when I switch to the EV, it just kind of opens up brighter. And I don't know if you're going to get the same, because it took me a while to EQ it. I'll be glad to share my EQ settings. But yeah, between these two, I'm going to set, my personal preference is the EV. But Bose, I love that slightly smaller form factor. Bose are still staying in my repertoire of speakers. And EV has had a number of years advantage to work on it. So I guess we'll be waiting for the Bose Pro S1 Pro Model 2, right? That'll be coming around. Anyway, if for the musicians out there, check out the Acoustic Guitar Forum. I'm sure there'll be a lot of musicians dealing with acoustic guitar sound and vocals through the EV. So keep that website in mind. Hope you enjoyed this video. I will probably do another sound test of the EV compared to the Mackie Thump Go, and then there'll be another last sound test, and that will be my Max sound test. Okay, is the EV, can it meet those specs? I'm not so sure. 121 dB in such a small box, that's almost equal to a CP8, which is 124, or even the EV30M, I believe, is only up there at 124. So I'm going to be really amazed if they can pull this off 121 dB from that small box. We will see. But for the sound test, between these two speakers, I pick EV. Hope you enjoyed. This is Bill.